Hey, how are you doing? My name is Michael Patrick Strout, the CEO and founder of Wix Training Academy. And in this video, I would like to explain to you 5 lessons that I have acquired and would like to pass on to you of how I went from zero to $210,000 in revenue in my web development business. Before diving into the juicy deets, I know you're ready to get there. What I would first like to ask is if you'd like to see more content like this that we're about to dive into, hit that subscribe button and join our Wix Nation community. Instantly plug into 33,000 plus like-minded entrepreneurs looking to increase their revenue and increase their impact on the world. I'd love to have you, but that's not why you're here. You're here to learn how we went from zero to $210,000 in revenue. So I think it's important to start by giving you a little bit of context. So I went through the web developer freelance route for about 2 years, and it was exciting. It was fun. And I had a business that allowed me to enjoy some extra income every month to use on whatever I chose to use it on. However, it wasn't really a business per se. It was more just kind of a commingling of my personal and more lifestyle type business. And it was a freelance route, and I was just getting requests as they came in. I wasn't actively seeking any new clients. If they came, and I was happy with that, and it got me through the end of high school and into college, being able to really just start making some pocket change each month and helping other people build their websites. So it was good for that purpose. However, at the start of 2019, I decided I wanted to take a different angle at that. I wanted to get serious about my business and really, really grow it and build the practices and build the systems that are required to actually grow a web development business. So granted, this was my junior year of college, and I went back home for Christmas break at the end of my first semester junior year. And thankfully, I've got a great support system at home. My father's an entrepreneur. My mother and father decided they would sit down with me, and we would discuss an action plan to put together to head back to school in 2019 at the start of the year, January 1st, and really create a business that I was serious about. So I did that, got back home, finally towards the end of break decided, hey, can we talk about this? And we did, and we put an action plan together, some great material in that action plan, and some real incredible steps as far as how to move forward next, and I'd be happy to share those in another video as well. But we put it together, and then I go back to school at the start of 2019, and I put the practices into play. And month 1, right off the bat, I generated $30,000 in revenue, which was a complete all-star month for me. I had never ever done that in my life before, and I was never serious about it before. Again, going back, I just wanted some extra pocket change to enjoy college, to enjoy the end of high school when I was doing it at the end of high school as well. And so hitting a $30,000 month for me was incredible. I was enthusiastic. I was excited. And then I continued that process throughout the year and built it up to $210,000 in revenue. So with this video, what I would like to explain is 5 lessons I acquired during that process that if I were to go back and do it again, I would make sure I covered all of these and got these real spot on and really correct because they are important. Lesson number 1 is to create systems. Systems run your business. Simple as that. When I was starting and doing the freelance and just kind of took projects in as they came, I had no real system. I didn't have a system from when a lead came in to what happens next. Did I schedule a call? Did I send an email? And then if I did close a deal, what happens? How do I learn more about their projects? How do I acquire the digital assets needed for their project? When do we start the project? How much communication happens in between the project? I didn't have any of these systems in place, and it caused some real problems. I was kind of like a wandering puppy trying to find my way back home. And as you can imagine, a puppy that really didn't know how to get back home would probably be a little nervous, worried, and terrified. And I was, because each project was like a new mission, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to successfully get to the end of it while making sure every component of it was absolutely perfect for the client. And that was terrifying to me. So when I got serious about my business, I knew that systems run your business. And so at the start of 2019, I put systems in place. I just discussed a few. From the moment a lead comes in, what happens? Do you follow up with them via email? Do you give them a phone call? Do you schedule them into a consultation with you? And then on that sales call, what is your system for your sales process? Is it a two-step sales process? Is it a one-step and quote? Are you using subcontractors? Are you doing it yourself? And then you carry this through and you create systems for how the entire client experience looks like. From the moment they come into your business as a lead to the moment they finish with your business, hopefully with the project and then moving into ongoing maintenance. You need a system in place to handle that and provide your client and yourself the best experience possible. Lesson number 2 is know your numbers. I know this is not the most glamorous or sexy part of business, or maybe for you it is. Maybe you're a numbers person and all the power to you. However, I am not, but I recognize the importance of knowing my numbers. Now, knowing your numbers goes into a lot of different areas of your business. In fact, it's your entire business. You need to know your numbers in a financial sense, right? You need to know your profit and loss, your income statement. These are basic financial statements that you should understand, but even drilling it down to a more basic level, what you should understand is how much did it cost you to acquire a client? When you acquired that client, how much does it cost you to fulfill their project, right? So by knowing those numbers, you then know what you need to charge on a project. And we're going to get into pricing in a moment, but these numbers help you establish where you're at in a project, and you need to be able to also analyze other numbers in your business, such as out of the number of people that came in as a prospect that had a sales call with you, how many of those people actually turned into clients? And by collecting data and using spreadsheets or Google Sheets or whatever you decide to use, QuickBooks for financials, there's tons of tools out there. You need to know your numbers. And if you don't want to be the person to dive into the numbers and really analyze them, usually on a weekly basis at a minimum, find someone that will. Either delegate it to someone on your team if you've got an existing team, or hire someone to go through your numbers. Because if you fail to do this portion in your business, you are setting your business up for failure. It's simple as that. Lesson number 3, value-based pricing. Okay, so understanding the importance of value-based pricing is vital. So many people out there I see are still choosing the hourly route when they're fulfilling development work. Fine, that's okay. It's a route that people are very aware of and they're familiar with, and a lot of times that's the only route people know to start with. However, I ask this question: aren't you tired of trading time for money? Wasn't the point of getting into business and working for yourself freedom? Financial freedom, freedom of your time? By choosing an hourly route, you're hindering that freedom. You're not allowing yourself to maximize the potential return you can make on a project. You're limiting yourself to trading time for money, your valuable time. Time is the most valuable asset that you own. You can't get more of it. So what I would pose to you is using a value-based pricing system. And I'm not going to dive into specifics. If you would like to learn specifics on this, please let me know. I will make a video of it. But value-based pricing is where you price a project based off of value rather than time. And what I mean by that is take a second and visualize a project that you maybe just recently completed. Okay? You built out an entire website for them. Maybe you did design, maybe you did design and development, maybe you just did development, right? But they now have a asset, a digital asset that they can use to generate money. Now, just because you created their website and fulfilled their design and their development doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to generate money, because you're not the one driving their business, they are. But you did set them up in a place and position to generate more money for their business utilizing that digital asset you created them. Let's just say you charged them $2,000 to complete that project. Okay? They now pay $2,000, and a lot of times, if a digital asset like a website is used correctly, the ROI on that initial $2,000 is usually a ridiculously high amount if it's a business that is at all worth their salt and utilizing that asset to the right extent. So what I'm proposing to you is, instead of going back to someone and saying, hey, it's going to take 20 hours to complete this project and I charge $99 an hour. Flip your perspective and say, hey, my time is worth something, and this is a very valuable project to you. So instead of charging someone for the hours involved, associate a value to it. Look at the project, take a deep look at the scope, and say, you know what? This project and my time is valued more at $10,000 for this project rather than $2,000 for this project. And by using value-based pricing, what you'll notice is you'll instantly recognize that your time is worth a lot more than you're charging hourly, and you'll start increasing your average project value over time. No longer will you be charging $1,000 for a website that should really be $10,000 anywhere else. No longer are you hindering your freedom and trading your time for money. No, you are charging someone based on the value you provide them. So value-based pricing is extremely powerful, and I really urge you to move toward that direction to increase the freedom and the profits in your life, because it will do that. Lesson number 4 is to add complementary services to your already existing services. So what do I mean by this? Well, if you're currently offering web design, maybe consider offering web development as well, or vice versa. Or if you're already offering both of those, maybe consider adding SEO, search engine optimization, to your toolkit. And the reason I say this is because by adding some additional but strategic complementary services, you will instantly increase your average order value. Because if you're providing a great service on one particular service, typically that client is going to trust you to provide a great service in a complementary version of that service as well. And kind of piggybacking off of this, what you should look to create is services that will allow you to generate ongoing monthly revenue. So look at things like website maintenance, right? Providing your clients, your current clients, toward the end of their project, website maintenance. Something that they pay you every single month for, and usually it's little to no additional work on your end, and you have different maintenance plans and different pricing tiers that they can pay depending on what they're looking for in terms of your maintenance. In addition to that, SEO is the same way. It's a complementary service to a web development agency. People now have a website, they want to generate traffic to it. So by adding an SEO segment to your business, you're able to increase your average order value by charging your client on a monthly basis to perform your SEO services. And also, obviously, the goal is to provide them as much value as possible and to help them win in their business as well. So the pros of adding complementary services to your existing service lineup is that you can increase your average project value, and you'll create a client for life, hopefully, that will then refer other people to you because of the work you have completed for them. Lesson number 5 to conclude is learn leverage. So, what do I mean in terms of leverage? Well, leverage is going to be such an important aspect in your business. In 2019, I decided to go down the agency route. I wanted to hire people onto my team and utilize other people in my business to help provide leverage to me. For you, you have a choice to make. You can either go down the freelancer route and keep doing it all yourself, and there's leverage points on that route as well, or you can choose the agency route where you'll actually bring in full-time staff. Regardless of what route you choose, you need to figure out how to implement leverage. Leverage is when you can use other people, other people's money, other people's time. These are different forms of leverage. This is not taking advantage of someone. This is utilizing resources as leverage. So, for example, maybe you just got a project that came in and you've got another project and another project and another project and another project waiting to come in. If you're doing all of those projects yourself, plus managing the projects, plus doing the marketing, plus doing the sales, what you're going to find is you're going to burn out really, really quickly, like I did come April of 2019 after I started having all-star months. What I realized really quickly was that I just created a whole bunch of new clients through my selling capabilities. Sales and marketing is what I love to do. I'm great at sales, and I did a fantastic job. However, I also created a whole bunch of new clients, which created a new problem in of itself, which was that now I had to manage all of these clients and fulfill the work while still trying to bring in new clients. And I got burnt out, and I experienced the worst anxiety I have ever experienced in my life. It started in April, and it carried most through summer. It was bad. It was really, really a poor experience. But I contributed to the fact that I loaded way too much on myself, and I caused my own personal health to go upside down, which is not what you want to do. You want to find leverage points. In my case, what I then did is I took a step back and I said, okay, where are the areas that I excel at, that I should be spending my sole time and my focus? And I identified that marketing and content creation is where I should really be. Sales is another one, but sales was chewing up a very large majority of my time. So I took another step back and I said, okay, can I fill someone in this sales role? And I did. So I hired a sales rep, and I took another step back and I said, okay, I can't do all of the work myself for these projects. So I took a step back and I hired 2 developers and a designer, and they fulfill the work itself. And then I took another step back and I said, okay, that's great. We've got 2 developers and a designer, but I need someone to manage all of these projects. So I hired a project manager, and the project manager looked over all of the projects, made sure the clients were communicated with. The project manager acted as the median between the client and the developers and the designers. They transferred information between them and made sure it got back to them in a timely manner and made sure communication was clear. And by doing that, I found leverage points that I was then able to use to take myself out of the everyday, every part of the business aspect. And by doing that, not only did my health improve, but my business actually grew. You see, leverage is just such a powerful tool, and you need to find ways to utilize it if you want to grow and scale your business. If you'd like to just stay comfortable, that's fine. Keep it small, keep it all. That's totally you. But if you're in a position and in a season of growth, you're going to need to find leverage, otherwise you're going to burn out, and it's going to be a scary sight, because it was for me, and I've heard it from many other entrepreneurs that have been there and done that. So, there you have it. Those are 5 lessons that I acquired during my time of going from $0 to $210,000 in revenue in my web development business that I wanted to translate over to you. If you enjoyed the lessons from today's video, I would kindly ask that you drop a like down below, comment if you've got any questions at all, and even share your story with me. Where are you at in your business? Are you in the freelancer route? Are you trying to look for leverage right now? What position are you in? Share that down in the comment section below. And lastly, if you would like to continue seeing more videos like these and join our Wix Nation community, I would kindly ask that you hit that subscribe button in the bottom right of this video and turn those bell notifications on so you don't ever miss any content here on the channel. Once again, my name is Michael Patrick Strauch, CEO and founder of Wix Training Academy, and I really appreciate you watching this video, and I know you're going to go out there and kill it for the rest of 2020, building that business, that design or development business that you have always dreamed of. Utilize these tips and go out there and make it happen.